Global controls will have to be imposed, and a world governing body will be created to enforce them. Crises precipitate change.
Secretly plotting your demise. I want to devise a virus.
Hello everyone, Darko 2012 here with Global Government News, and I'm covering an article that is from February 16th, 2010. I'm actually covering two articles about my own homeland in Indiana here. Senator Evan Bayh will be stepping down, and of course it's due to brain dead partisanship and dysfunctional political system. Has nothing to do with his constituents, or not even his constituents, just him being a pro-globalist fascist for a mostly conservative state, right? Here in Indiana, where we're still allowed to, well, we have to get a permit where we're still allowed to conceal and carry. Let's check it out here. This is yesterday's article, right after Bayh announced that he'd be stepping down or retiring. It says, 2 terms, Senator Evan Bayh says ever shriller partisanship and the frustrations of gridlock made it time for him to leave Congress. Republicans aren't buying it, saying he and fellow Democrats sense that voters will be after their heads this fall. The Indiana Democrat, a moderate, who twice came close to being added to his party's national ticket, said Monday he will not seek re-election this November. The announcement gives Republicans a strong chance of capturing his seat and making it likelier that their 59 votes that give Democrats command of the 100-seat Senate will dwindle. Says Bayh, 54, said his passion for helping people is, quote, not highly valued in Congress. That's right, everybody. We don't want to be helped, right? We hate help. He said he did not love the institution in which his father, Birch Bayh, had also represented Indiana. There's just too much brain-dead partisanship, Bayh said in a nationally broadcast interview Tuesday. And this is a typical thing that an elitist would say, right? For any of those freedom lovers out there, who know about the New World Order and who know about and understand and are aware of the minions that work for them, right? They believe that they are part of this inner core of elites, but they're not, right? So let's move on. It says he said the public will continue to harbor hostile feelings towards Congress. I wonder why, until we change this town. He also said the extremes of both parties have to be willing to accept compromises. No, we don't. We don't have to accept crap from your globalist agendas. Whether you're stupid Republicans who act like phony conservatives, right? Because that's what you are. Or you're a Democrat who is a fascist pig, right? Just like Republican fascist pigs. That's what you are. You are pigs. And just like the cops that protect you, they protect you. They don't protect the people. And we're sick of you. We're tired of your shit. Your lies, your deception. You could take your little elitist attitude and get the hell out of Indiana. Let's move on to today's propaganda. It says disillusioned Bayh advocates electoral, quote, shock to broken system. In an interview on MSNBC this morning, newly retiring Senator Evan Bayh declared the American political system as dysfunctional, riddled with brain-dead partisanship and permanent campaigning, flatly denying any possibility that he'd seek the presidency, wink wink, or any other higher office. Bayh argued that the American people needed to deliver a shock to Congress by voting incumbents out in mass and replacing them with people interested in reforming the process and governing for the good of the people rather than deep-pocketed special interest groups. Bayh's announcement stunned the American political world, as up until just last week, he looked to be well on his way to an easy re-election for a third term in the Senate, and his senior staff was aggressively pursuing that goal. But Bayh had apparently become increasingly frustrated in the Senate. In this morning's interview, he noted that just 2 weeks ago, Republicans who had co-sponsored a bill with him to rein in the deficit turned around and voted against their own bill. That's because they're fascists, right? He also stated repeatedly that members of his own party should be more willing to settle for a compromise rather than holding out for perfection. And it's not really perfection, and it's not really about compromise. Like I said, it's about two parties that don't represent the American people who are trying to sell them a package or a boxed up package of shit, right? You can put shit in a box and say, well, you know, this is the best we're going to get. Let's just compromise, quit being partisan. And, you know, since we represent you, this is the best that we can get. No, you're not. You're not conservative, and you're not liberal, and you're not looking out for the best interests of the people. So there's no need to compromise on a crappy health care bill or a crappy carbon emissions, some tax or bill, a cap and trade bill. These are all shams. And the people are waking up to your scammy shams. They're sick of it. It says, it's no secret that the Senate has struggled to take action this year. Yeah, they struggled to take action. They took action, all right. You know, $28 trillion down the effing hole in 16 months to the bankers. We know who you work for. And we know who you represent. Stand down. With the two major parties unusually far apart in their substantive proposals for the direction of the country, even finding half a loaf to agree on has been difficult. And this is because, of course, they're trying to squeeze as much as is humanly possible out of the American people, right? Our dollar is going down the drain, right? There's nothing left. The deficit. Ooh, the deficit. Let's gut all the social programs, but let's not just keep Pentagon and defense and war spending. Let's just increase it, right? That's how we do it in this fascist America. And this is who we have representing us. Nothing but elitist fascists. And so I hope all of them step down because they don't represent us. They're trying to get as much as they possibly can out of you. That's why they're not compromising. If it was something that was like, oh, this is just a really good bill and people have read it and just, there's something that we can come up with. But no, it's not. It's just because it's total shit. And the people are seeing through it more than ever. And thank God. By forcing a cloture vote, see the graph below, to force Democrats to come up with 60 votes to pass any major legislation. So, yeah, it kind of likes to talk about how this is going to be, the Republicans are going to have to fill the vacuum. And listen, look at what he's saying. When he's saying a shock by voting out incumbents, he's not saying to vote out the globalist, fascist, unrepresenting pigs. No, they're saying, oh, you need to vote them out so you can get nonpartisan, right? They're saying, oh, we're partisan. Oh, we're actually Democrat. We're actually liberal and conservative. So he's playing off the illusion that there's actually two parties in control, which is complete nonsense. It's complete nonsense. So whatever you do, American people, you don't have much longer left. This election, you vote for a Democrat, you vote for a Republican, which I know you probably will, you're going to get hurt really bad. Do not vote for Republicans or do not vote for Democrats. If you are going to vote for them, you better vote for someone that no one's ever heard of, and he better start saying some stuff that you've never heard before. Like end the Federal Reserve, like stop torturing, end the Patriot Act, remove all the embassies and all the bases around the world. They tell you that. They're going to stop the fraudulent income tax. You tell them that. If they tell you that, then you vote for them. But besides that, look for a Socialist Party candidate. Look for a libertarian. Don't do what he's telling you to do, which is to just vote everybody out like they did in 2006, and then they got nothing but Democrats. which expand in government, and Republicans will do the same thing. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for checking this out.